Since its debut nearly 20 years ago, the BMW X3 has been one of the original and most popular premium compact SUVs out there. How popular? Well, it's BMW's best-selling vehicle, and I can say I've contributed to those numbers because I've owned two of them. This is the latest BMW X330e. It has all the goodness of the crowd-pleasing X3. However, this one has a plug. It's a plug-in hybrid. So let's unplug and take it for a drive. All right, let's start her up. That's it. No sound. This is a plug-in hybrid, and the best thing about this PHEV is what I call it a true PHEV. I have a pet peeve on some plug-in hybrids, and that is that, yeah, you can plug them in and you can go a certain distance on electric, but it's not just electric only. Some of these other plug-in hybrids require you to use the gasoline engine to use your climate control, to use your air conditioning, your heating. This one does not, so it does have some sort of a heat pump. You can start it up right from cold, and we're just driving right now and run it on pure electricity regardless of the temperature outside at all. And I absolutely love that, because now you can actually use this like an electric vehicle without starting that gas engine up, which saves a lot of fuel. As soon as you start that gas engine up when it's cold, especially for short trips, you're going to just kill your average mileage out. So as for range, 27 kilometers, which is not huge. You have a 12 kilowatt hour battery that is housed underneath the back seats. So there are a couple of different modes you can go on this EV system. So let's talk about the differences between this 30e and the regular 30. And the biggest difference, well, of course, this is electrified. You have that 12 kilowatt hour battery, an electric motor, and combined horsepower is 288 horsepower. That's about 40 horsepower up from the gasoline only version, and that does make a difference, not just for fuel economy, but it also allows you to get this e-boost. So when you are driving, let's say we are entering the freeway right now, and if I actually just hit that throttle, you can see the gauge go into e-boost mode, and it really does propel you very, very smoothly and very quickly. It's very nice to have that extra amount of torque that that electric motor provides. This also comes standard with xDrive, which is their all-wheel drive system. And now, here's a good example. We are on the freeway right now, and I can actually change my e-drive. Let's go into max e-drive. So right now, we are pure electric, and you can see my gauge, it goes from 0 to 60 in increments, not miles per hour, by the way, or kilometers per hour. And that's just how much load you're using. And if basically when you go to eDrive, it does limit your acceleration and power, but it's fairly responsive still. The best thing though is it'll allow you to drive up to 135 kilometers per hour on just electric. If we go back into auto eDrive, this will still allow you to drive up to 110 kilometers per hour on just electricity only, and that's what it's doing right now. If you do want the extra power, you just push your throttle down and there you go. Now, obviously, I've been a fan of the X3, owned two of them. The ones that I've owned were the inline 6 turbo, the 35i's at the time. Now it's 40 now that they've changed the number to. But what I liked about the X3, to me, it really hit the sweet spot. You get the driving dynamics of a BMW. We all know they do have a great drive to them, but you get the utility of an SUV. You get it all in one nice premium package. And with this 30e plug-in, BMW has not gone without tuning this for drivability and driving engagement. You have an 8-speed automatic transmission. It's not a CVT, and it drives just like a regular X3, except you get the added benefit of better fuel economy, better torque, and there are a couple of other positives, such as 2 lanes over is the HOV lane. This qualifies to drive in the HOV lane with a single occupant. If you do long commutes on the freeway or highway, and in your area that you live in, if they allow PHEVs in that lane, that might be a worthwhile investment for you to drive a X330e. Just listen how quiet it is. We are in full electric, and we're doing 116 kilometers per hour, freeway speeds, absolutely effortless, and there really is no compromise. And I've said this before, why I'm a fan of PHEVs is you get the best of all worlds. Sure, I'm a fan also of EVs, electric vehicles. However, for a lot of people, that just doesn't work. You might have limited charging capabilities or areas where you can charge. Maybe your commutes are really long, or you have a cabin you drive up to every weekend and it's hundreds of miles, and it's just not convenient in a battery electric vehicle. That's when the PHEV really does shine. You get the best of all worlds. If you plug it in, which this comes with a 110 charger, plug it into your regular household outlet, just put it in overnight, and you get up in the morning, you have 27 kilometers of electric only driving, and if you forget, no big deal. This still drives like a very good hybrid vehicle, so you get the best of all worlds. By the way, this range, the 27 kilometers that it's projected, is fairly accurate, I have found. So whatever it says, that's pretty well what you're gonna get. All right, let's put it into sport mode. Okay, so we are in sport, extra dynamic setting. Here we go. Now there was a short delay there for it to actually turn into sport mode. That's probably because maybe it wasn't sure I was wanting to go to sport mode. So let's just come up to another stop here and see if it stays in sport mode. And yes, you can tell by the gauges all went red. So in sport mode, you are really utilizing more of the internal combustion engine. It doesn't have, you know, the cachet and the great sound and torque of the inline 6-cylinder, which I am a fan of, one of my favorite engines of all time. But you know what? This is a good option for fuel economy and performance if you really want to balance it out. Handling wise, this has the M Sport brakes because it has the M Sport package. Very, very good progressive brakes, and this just feels like a great handling X3. So very responsive, the steering's responsive. You have variable steering on this, and that comes with the M Sport package as well. But you do feel the weight. There is a little bit more weight on the 30e because of the battery, but it's put down nice and low, which actually aids in the handling for a taller SUV. Now on the outside, you really don't know any difference between this and a regular X3 other than the extra charge port on the left side that we showed you. This has the M Sport package that gets you different bumpers, front and back, different side skirts. You also get 20-inch wheels on the M Sport package. All X3s get the LED lights front and back. And yeah, it's a very good looking compact SUV. Now, if we head into the back in the hatch area, this is where there's a little bit of difference because of that battery underneath the rear seats. They had to kind of move the gas tank as well, so it displaced some things. So there is a slight decrease in cargo capacity in the rear area though, but it's pretty minimal. Another thing I like is that there is a little bit of regen when you let your foot off the throttle, just a tiny bit, and it's not enough that's gonna really bother you, but it will regenerate some juice for you back into those batteries. And yeah, and it also helps you brake a little bit as well. Now on the inside, you get the great iDrive infotainment system, super easy to use. You do get Apple CarPlay wireless on this one. There is no Android Auto. Doesn't bother me, but for some it may bother some. And you have a digital display in behind the steering wheel as well. Everything is at hand, easy to reach. You get the M Sport steering wheel on this, and this one has the enhanced package, so you get the comfort access, you get a head-up display, all the goodies that you kind of really want in a premium SUV. Oh yeah. Lots of room, just like my old BMW X3. 2 USB-C plugs. You have heated seats in the back on this model, plus you have your own climate control and manual sunshades. Small hump in the middle. As you can see, we've made a little bit of a stop, a little Costco shop there. Even though this has a little bit reduced cargo capacity, as we mentioned, still plenty of room back there. I got some big bins. I would have just fit them in the back, except I couldn't figure out how to take that tonneau cover off. I could have went into the manual and figured it out, but I just have to get somewhere really quick. So I just put the seats down, put them in the back there. But so yeah, lots of utility. This also has the hands-free power tailgate. That's also nice when you have your hands full as well. One other thing that I wanted to mention about the drive though is right now we are in EV mode. It just goes in and out, especially if you are out of battery or out of range. We still have 7 kilometers left right now, but when it goes from EV to gas, it is literally seamless. You really don't feel when that gasoline engine kicks in, and that's what you want. It just fits with the premium experience. If there was a noticeable shudder when that gasoline engine kicked on, then yeah, that would really take away from it, but it doesn't at all. So any other negatives? Some may say it might be the price. It starts out at $59,000 as we mentioned, but once you get some packages added on there, like the enhanced package, which gets you all the goodies that you really want in a premium luxury vehicle. You get the head-up display, you have the round view monitor, all the goodies, and then this M Sport package, this brings it over $70,000. And unfortunately, because this is over $55,000 in Canada and the province of British Columbia, it doesn't qualify for any rebates. Depending on where you live, it might qualify, but in Canada, it's a no-go. If it did, you would save about $4,000, and that would actually make it not a big difference between this and the regular standard 4-cylinder X3. It would be about $3,500 difference, and I would say for $3,500, that would be a no-brainer to get all the benefits of the HOV lane, the EV driving only for 25, 27 kilometers. If you live in a downtown area, that's going to be great for you. And if you don't have a chance to charge it, no big deal whatsoever. So for over $70,000, there are quite a few other options out there. I really enjoyed my time when I owned an X3. The only reason why I got rid of it is because it was a little bit small for our growing family. So that's why we went for something bigger. If you didn't need that, the extra space, yeah, go for the X3. You don't really have to go for the larger X5. But for me, for 70 grand or over $70,000, you know, we just tested the new Genesis GV80. For $70,000, you can get into the 4-cylinder turbo, the advanced, with 300 horsepower for $70,000 for almost a fully loaded vehicle and larger. And you know what? I might take a flyer on that and might actually try that out if I was in the market, just because I need the size. But that one doesn't come in a hybrid, let alone a plug-in hybrid. So there is some benefits to this X3. Anyways, that is our quick look at the new BMW X330e. Let me know if you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already, and leave a comment below. I want to hear what you have to say. Cheers and safe driving.